Good morning, everyone. Jack here, founder of collegeconsulting.us. And in today's video, I want to talk about an unusual topic called regression to the mean. And in the second half of this video, I'm actually going to have you pause the video, truly think about your family's mean as it comes to effort consistently in college planning. But first, let me talk about regression to the mean. So this is a common phrase used in mathematics, statistics, when they talk about data sets. What they say is, there are certainly outliers in any data set, but when the denominator is large enough, meaning the sample size is large enough, eventually, right, the data will regress towards the mean, the average, the middle. I'm going to give you some examples here. If you were a field goal kicker in football, sure, maybe every once in a while you could hit a 62-yard field goal, but that's unlikely. And sure, you've got your, chip shot field goals that you hit on the 1 yard line. That's also fairly uncommon. Most of the time, most field goal kickers are going to hit field goals somewhere between, 35 and 50 yards. Or every once in a while, right? If you're a basketball player, Nuggets just won the NBA Finals, you might be able to chuck up a half-court shot and it might go in. But I think anyone who's seen any type of basketball would know that that's rare and uncommon. Most of the time, your shots are going to be made either just outside the three-point line or in. If you are an artist, you likely have a typical price you can sell your paintings for. Maybe every once in a blue moon, you get a painting that for whatever reason is just exceptional, or you have a buyer that just really likes it and you sell something for 10 times the price that you typically do. But the point is, if you sell enough paintings, if you do enough paintings, eventually the data is going to show that you have a fairly typical price that you're going to sell these paintings for. You're now saying, Jack, why are we talking about this? What does this have to do with college planning? Well, the question I want to ask you all, if you're watching this video, if you're a parent of a high schooler, is when it comes to college planning efforts, what's your mean? How much effort are you consistently putting in towards helping your child improve their college admissions chances, help streamline their college planning journey, help find schools that are really a fit? What is your mean, right? Now let's talk about some outliers. Every once in a while, I have a family that says, we went on 2 campus trips this weekend. Isn't that great? That is fantastic. What is your mean? Are those your first 2 campus trips ever and the only that we can expect for a very long time? It's still great, right? It's better than 0 campus trips, but you can see how I would much prefer it to be we take 2 campus trips once a quarter and we're going to do it for 2 years. That's consistency. That's your mean. Or every once in a while, when we're working on essay writing for a student, we have a student that says, I locked myself in my room and I brainstormed essay writing for 90 minutes. That's great. The best essays are done consistently in small chunks over time. So how many times over the course of really the summer between junior and senior year can you lock yourself in your room and have those 90-minute bursts? Is that an outlier or is that a mean? On this notion, what is an appropriate mean for college planning? Well, in our formal program, actually in week 1, I have students commit to a mean and stay to it. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I have them do. And by the end of this, if you want, you can take the action and do it with your high schooler as well.
Parents of high schoolers, real quick, and then I'll get you right back to this video. If you are finding value from the video, I have one request, because I'm never going to run ads on these videos, I promise. And so my one way to really share these videos to the masses is to ask you for a favor. Do you mind sharing this with any other high school parents that you know might need help? You can do that by directly sharing, like via, just texting the link to the video, or you can also share on your socials like Instagram or Facebook. It would mean a lot to me. And lastly, if you're really, really getting value and you want to make sure that you're subscribed, you can click the like button, the subscribe button. It'll help the algorithms let you know when my next video is released. Now, back to more value.
So in our program, regardless of when a family starts, freshman year, sophomore year, or junior year, don't allow seniors to join because we embrace foundations and it's important that we have enough time to work with families. But we have families in week 1 identify what 1 hour chunk every single week for the remainder of our program. Yes, if they join sophomore year, we're talking 3 straight years. What 1 hour chunk the high schooler can commit to doing whatever is next on the college planning journey. Now, lucky for them, when they're in our program, we define what is next for them. There's no thinking about what should I do this week or what should I do next week. It is laid out for them for 3 straight years. Now, in your case, if you're watching this video, you just got to do a little bit more legwork. You might have to define those next 3 years. But That's not the theme of this video. The theme of this video is what is your mean? And my recommendation is for everyone's mean to be, at the minimum, just 1 hour per week devoted to anything college planning related. Might sound like a lot right now, but let me tell you, given the vast array of topics that you can cover when it comes to college planning, you can go into the college search process. You could have a campus trip. You could just spend some time reading about schools that are a fit. You could complete an online survey that helps identify your strengths and weaknesses and therefore helps you identify possible majors. That's all in the exploratory phase. Eventually, you can transition to the application phase, and you have the Common App personal statement. You have supplemental essays. You have the Common App actually filling it out. You have figuring out which activity you want to list number 1 and which activity you want to list number 10. You can see each of those things I listed there are multiple hours. When you add all these up, if you do it once a week, you're good, right? Once a week working on college planning, for most of my students, it doesn't seem like a crazy amount of effort. And that's the beauty. Their mean is typically about an hour of work once a week. And when you add that up for 3 years, all of a sudden, you have students who are getting into their dream schools in our program. You have students that are gaining significant merit scholarships, drastically reducing their debt. And they're saying, that didn't feel that hard. It's because their mean for a long period of time was just consistent effort. And so establish the mean. Make it consistent. I recommend that you get with your high schooler and you say, what 1 hour increment each week can we, and yes, I do recommend phrasing it as we. Certainly a lot of the work will fall on your high schooler, but there are certain aspects of college planning that are honestly a lot more fun when parents are involved, supportive, and can add their insight. What 1 hour increment are we going to consistently block off for college planning every week? Far and away the most common time, just so you all know, in our program that our families choose is a 1 hour increment on Sunday, like early evenings, it seems. And if you're saying, Jack, how do you know this? They have to submit their increment to us. We then hold them accountable to that time. And again, the plan is then defined for them already. You'll have to go and step by step make the plan. But quick little hint for you if you're watching this. If you click the link in the description, you can go to the entirely free College Confidence community. Inside there, you'll have 7 free lessons in the classroom that actually can give you a lot of your first steps. So if you're like, I don't really know how to make the plan, once I define what my 1 hour per week is, then what do I do? There's your first 7 steps. Go watch the videos, take the action items associated with it. It is our 7 most powerful lessons, and they're entirely free for you. So once you decide on your hour, then it's pretty simple. Do it, right? Put in the work. Take those next steps on the college planning journey. Block it off. Have your student committed to it. And what's amazing is pretty quickly in our program, when we have students who are in our program for really, it seems just about like the 2-month mark, working on college planning for their hour that they've already blocked off. It's just like brushing your teeth. It probably doesn't even feel like too much effort because, again, it has become routine. Their mean is an hour of work once a week. That is their mean. It is no longer an outlier. Before they start our program, that type of work, it's an outlier. And that right there, for those who are watching this, is the difference between having a real shot of admission at your dream schools, a real shot at serious merit scholarships, drastically reducing your child's future debt, and the difference between hoping that's the case, keeping your fingers crossed, and wondering why you're disappointed at the end. College planning is not rocket science, but it does come down to small, consistent efforts. So, what is your mean? Take a second, talk with anyone else in the family. Is your mean really 1 hour per week? And if not, take those next steps. Talk with your high schooler, block off your hour. If you want, put that day of the week and that hour block on a sticky note and tape it to your refrigerator so all knows that you're committed. I hope this helps. If after going through all this, you say, wow, this is fantastic, we've got our hour chunk, but we either want a little bit more of a personalized plan, or we honestly just know that we've got this chunk now, but without a third party, we will not be accountable, feel free to reach out. We're here to help. Until next time, cheers.